Ooh, that's not a bad place to start in the swinger. We're going to be driving some advanced handling flag cars in this one, but none of them have the advanced handling flag, so we're actually going to have a good time. This video is brought to you by you. Thank you so much for simply being here and enjoying my content. Please do leave a comment, like the video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already for a chance to see your name here in a future video. They didn't do a harmonic start.
Clown!
It started already. Bloody hell. So, we're driving a swinger that handles absolutely beautifully. That's something that you can't experience in vanilla GTA. This was suggested to me. Oh bollocks! I can't remember who it was. Someone sent me an Instagram message of all things. I don't read my Instagram messages, and I don't respond to them or anything like that. But I did see this one, where it was suggested, can you do doing a race with advanced handling flag cars on Project Homecoming, where all the advanced handling flags are removed. So that's exactly what we're doing, starting with the swinger, because this is the one that basically has most of the bad advanced flags. And it was the one that started the whole thing. Oh, Italia RSX, okay. Back in the day, there's a video on my channel from basically when the advanced handling flags started, where we drove an LSGP race in the swinger on Project Homecoming, but because the swinger had all the advanced handling flags removed, it was a beautiful driving experience, basically the same driving experience that we've just had. And that's why we've chosen this track, a shorter version. It's obviously the LSGP lower loop, 30 laps, 30 cars, and we get to experience all the terrible handling cars that were added to the game in the sort of 2017-2018 range with all the bad advanced handling flags. We get to experience all of them without those flags. How they should be, really. Enter the XXR. Okay, people wanted me to do the noises for the XXR. But it doesn't do these noises on Project Homecoming. This was the original that made us realise these advanced flags were a bad thing. As it bounces off the rev limiter. But here, it handles lovely. And that was the thing with the advanced flags. When we went over to Project Homecoming, and all they did was remove those advanced flags. Soundbite. God damn it. All they did was remove the advanced flags and the cars got instantly better. And they've never been changed since. They didn't, Rockstar never removed them or anything for vanilla GTA. Just kept them. And all these cars that were added in this point of the game still handle terribly to this day. Alright, GB200. One of the ones that doesn't handle as badly as some of the others, but it's still terrible. So there's two handling flags in particular that are the worst offenders. You've got the increase suspension force with velocity, I think it is. I think that's the name of it, or speed or whatever. Basically, those are the ones that's the one that created things like the Italia GTO, where the faster you go, the harder the suspension becomes, and you flip on all the curbs and all that kind of stuff. And then there's also the other one that's the hard rev limit. That's the other worst offender of the flags, which is the one where that's the Entity XXR kind of thing, where it bounces off the rev limiter all the time. It just doesn't accelerate properly. It'll accelerate, bounce off the rev limiter, then accelerate a bit more, then keep bouncing off, and yeah, nightmare. And they were just so bad for all of these cars. Here's the Italia GTO. Still got that video on my second channel. How the Italy GTO just absolutely flipping on every single curb. Oh, it drives so nice without it though. But there are other advanced flags, of course. So, advanced flags, there's about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 of them. You can check them all out on gtacars.net. They do a variety of different things, just like handling flags do, just like model flags do. It's just this specific advanced flags that they used for these cars just had horrible effects. And they tried to dumb it down a little bit with the bouncy one, the suspension one. So the Italy GTO is not as bad now as what it was, but it's still bad. And yet they did add the hard rev limit flag to the Viceras. That's how they fixed that Viceras having super speed in a straight line. And they added it to the tuners as well, and then kind of changed how that worked. But the Swinger is the worst of all of them. Like, there's sort of 5 actual bad flags, and the Swinger has all 5 of them. So the Swinger was sort of the biggest loss, I think, and it's the one that has the biggest difference in the way that it drives, and it just drives so nicely without them. I really wish they'd just get rid of them, but they won't. Arbiter GT. So you get some newer cars that have them as well, like the Arbiter GT, like we'll see with the Entity MT, where they've just been copied from older cars that had the flags and not removed them. But obviously the HSW upgrade to the Arbiter GT and the tow values is what makes this drive even worse. Similar to the Vamos and stuff, which we will see, but it's not just the advanced flags that make those cars bad. Could have done without that crash. This is a usual random... Oh, that's sound. Okay, speaking of the Entity MT, here it is. Literally just copied from the Entity XXR, and that's why this handles terribly as well and bounces off the rev limiter and all that, because it's got all the same advanced flags that make the Entity XXR terrible, and they've just stuck an HSW upgrade on top of it basically and changed a few values. So this would also do the... It is a very forgettable vehicle. It's got a good top speed with the HSW upgrade and on a very smooth road. Oh yeah, that was the thing about those hard rev limit flags. They actually reduced the top speed when you did curb boosting. So they go slower in curb boosting situations for the top speed than they do on smooth roads. Flash GT. This was a bit of a shame as well. The original cars that had the advanced flags were the worst ones. Things like the Tulip and the Vamos and stuff, the second batch of them that only had the suspension thing weren't as bad because they didn't have that annoying engine stuff. But it was the first batch. Wait, have I just gone into the lead? I have just gone into the lead. Success! Like the Flash, the Entity XXR, the Taipan, the Swinger, all of those that had sort of both, they're the worst ones, and those are the ones that have the biggest improvement when you remove them. And it's literally all it takes, just removing them makes them fantastic. But yeah, 30 laps, 30 cars, so by the end of the race, we will get all the same cars. Everyone will have all the same. Bloody hell. So there is an element of, you know, skill to this, and whoever drives the best across the race will ultimately win. I've probably already lost the chance to win based on that crash. RJ and the Scramjet just closed me out on the first corner more than I thought he would. Hit the inside. Yeah, the Corsita, this has a few as well. Again, the newer breed of them aren't as bad as some of the originals. and they've sort of changed a little bit what some of them do when they apply to them. The hard rev limit flag does a little bit of a different thing if it's applied to the tuners now, but it's specifically when it's applied to the tuners, so it does the same thing on all the other cars that originally had it. But yeah, the fact that new cars have them really is just because they copy paste handling data from old cars when they make a new car. Those brake boosts quite well today. The Neo. Oh, I hate this car so much in vanilla GTA. It's horrible. The suspension is awful just because of the flag. It's nice here. Alright, we're in traffic territory. God. This is scary. Bloody hell. Okay, that was a dicey lap, that one. The Taipan. So it was the Entity XXR and the Taipan were the two originals that were released with these flags that we were like, oh my god, these are absolutely atrocious. The Taipan was just slow, and that wasn't because of the flags, it was just programmed to be that slow. But the flags made it worse. The slowest new supercar added. I think the Taipan has that crown, right? It was only quicker than the Bullet. It's between the Taipan and the Champion. I don't know which one is the slower of the two. I think it's the Taipan. I think it's the Taipan and the Voltic in the second to last tier. And the Taipan's one tier higher with the adder, if I remember correctly. You'd have to check GTAcars.net again, which has also been updated recently for everything. And it has a races and creator section, so you can see whether cars are available in random races or not. And the GTA car showroom videos have been placed on as well, so you can see showcase videos for every car directly embedded within GTAcars.net. Alright, Cheburek. This one suffers too, especially with the engine one. I feel bad that I can't remember the name of the person who suggested this idea to me. I'll find it at the end. Feels right to credit the person who gave me the idea for the race. And thanks to DiNmiTe for hosting it. I remember this time. DiNmiTe created the class and is hosted the race, so I didn't have to put in the effort to do that. He still has a job. I actually remembered. Right, the Ellie. So I think I've been in the lead for a long time just because I've had some of the faster cars. I think we're getting to halfway through the race now. I might start to struggle a little more now. There's SUVs and muscle cars. I've had a lot of the sports and supercars early on. As always with these random select races, everybody gets the same cars by the end, so it evens out. It was funny actually. A lot of newer people who've been watching the random alls, whether it's the vanilla random races or the Project Homecoming random alls, there's been quite a few comments from people saying, oh, it'd be good if you could do a race where everybody gets the same cars by the end to make it more fair. It's like, yeah, we've done hundreds of them in this playlist. So hopefully people who are new to the channel are starting to enjoy some of the stuff that we've been doing over the years. Ellie, nice car. Shame about the flags. Alright, Tyrant. I think the Tyrant was the one where if you took off the flags, didn't it go super speed? Had like a massive top speed if you took off the flags and just left it as is. They probably made a few extra changes in Project Homecoming, but it is a wide boy. You're not wrong. I don't know why they made it so big. It's like it's got like a 1.5 times scale on it. Back into the lead. Again, through virtue of having a quicker car. But it's nice to drive the Tyrant when you take off the flags. All of these cars were programmed and coded actually quite well in terms of they're quite nice to... Oh god. Super Speed Issy Classic. We had to brake well in advance there. Like the actual underlying programming of the cars in terms of the handling data makes them quite nice to drive. They're fine. It was literally just the advanced flags that ruined them. I think they were trying to experiment with like disincentivizing curb boosting and, you know, making the suspension harder over curbs when you go faster, making you lose speed on the engine when you curb boost. But the problem that I had with it is that, I mean, it made them terrible to drive for one, so it was completely the wrong way to do it. And the other problem I had is that they were putting them on these cars in GTA Online for millions of dollars that were absolutely horrible experiences, slow vehicles, terrible to drive, and asking people to pay millions for them. Like, if you want to test these things, test them, fine. But don't just put them in the game when they are... I mean, I don't think anybody could say that they're not horrific to drive. Like, they are objectively terrible cars because of these flags. The dog is protecting the house. Impaler. This is from the second breed that only had the suspension stuff, so some of the muscle cars like the Impaler aren't too bad in regular GTA. They do have the tow value issue though, these ones. And that's not related to advanced flags, it's just that the angle of the wheels, and that is directly from the programming and the handling data, has been made to, I guess, made to make them have a bit more of a muscle car feel, you know, with that like play on the steering wheel or something. But it just doesn't have that effect at all, because you hit a bump and the car suddenly turns into the direction of the bump that you just hit. That's why the sentient Vamos exists, where it just goes all over the place. And the meme vehicle of the sentient Vamos was only created by just increasing the toll values. Didn't have to do anything special. That's the effect it can have. Deviant, another one. Oh, I was so disappointed with the Deviant. I actually remember driving it. I remember distinctly driving it early on Project Homecoming and being like, oh wow, because it was a drip feed car, I think. So I was like, wow, this is a really nice car to drive. I really like this. I can't wait for this to release. And then it released in vanilla and it had a bunch of advanced flags that made it terrible to drive. I was so disappointed. A lot of the arena vehicles also have a bunch of these advanced flags. It was around that time. It was the worst time for DLCs up until like Mercenaries, when they were just half-assing and breaking everything. Arena War was possibly the worst DLC. I still hold that. What a time. The only good part about the whole thing was we got the Schlagen GT in that period of time that didn't have any flags. It was like the only car that came without any flags, and we loved it because of it. It was nice and smooth, nice to drive. Back in a second. Still got the Devastate to go, actually. Novak. The advanced flag that they have for the open wheel cars is an interesting one. I covered it in a fact-finding video. I recommend watching it. But they've basically got a flag now that they apply to a car, and it's only on the open wheelers, but it stops curb boosting entirely. It's why you can't curb boost in the open wheel cars. They're just smooth over the bumps. They don't gain any speed at all from curb boosting. And I'm still unsure why they haven't tested it yet on a regular car. Maybe they've learned their lesson from testing advanced flags on these cars. But I mean, the ship has sailed now. You might as well just put it on and see what happens when because you can apply that advanced flag to a regular car and it does just negate curb boosting entirely. It's interesting. The Toros. Oh, this is one of the worst ones as well. So fast, but its suspension is so hard because of that flag. Horrible over the bumps. Second only to the Italy GTO, really, in terms of how bad it was on the bumps when it was released. Still, even now, it's horrible. The Toros was also broken in a different way because it kept getting stuck in the highest gear. I think it was 8th gear. It went into it, and cars don't need that many gears in this game. I still don't see the point of why they add that many. But it went into 8th gear if you got fast enough on the bumps and stuff, and then you would slow down, and it would stay in 8th gear. So when you went to accelerate, it would just be so sluggish to get away. And you had to reverse it, I think. You had to stick it in reverse to unlock it out of 8th gear. Hey man, the bugs that we've had in this game over the years. I think the cars are... Oh, that was close. I think the cars are in a good place now. Some of the recent DLCs have been quite nice. Interesting to drive cars. Good handling data and stuff makes them programmed well and whatnot. But we had to go through a lot of pain first. Didn't the Paragon R also have that gear bug? I think so. A few cars have had it. There's just no need for that many gears. Like 6 maximum. They just need to consistently go back to basics. Go back to 2013 to 2016 era of car programming and handling, and just leave it at that. Okay, this was a rough lap in the Fagaloa. To be expected, I guess. It's slow. Is it the slowest we've got today? Might be. Alright, Scramjet. Oh, I've done it again. Every time on Project Homecoming, I do this. I think there's only been once where I haven't done that. Yeah, the Scramjet has all the bad flags as well. It actually matches the Swinger for the all 5 of the really bad ones. But most of the time you don't notice it because you're not really driving it much, you're just flying around or boosting, so it negates it a little bit, I guess. I get another boost? Nope. Should have done it earlier. Zion Classic. Another horrible one. I think this is the one that has bad tow values as well, like the muscle cars. Like, it's not just the advanced flags that it's the problem with this. Should be able to get back up in a second though. Eventually. Well, that was unnecessary. It might be the Nebula Turbo that I'm thinking of with the bad tow values, not the Zion. One of the two. They're quite forgettable cars to me, so they just blend into one. The Michelli GT. Now the Zion also self-steers on bumps. Yeah, okay, I thought it was the Zion. Michelli GT is atrocious in vanilla GTA. It's nice here, it's a fun little car. Again, one of the original breed of cars with both of the really bad flags. Seven to go. I've got that Dominator still to do. I've still got the Vamos, Nebula Turbo. I think the Nebula Turbo is in this selection. The Devest 8 I've still got. It's time to close up this top 5, as it always does in these random select races. Always closes up by the end. Such that it's only the difference in performance of the drivers that is the gap. Not the difference in the cars you've got at that point. Jester, oh, the Jester Classic. The Jester Classic has been so broken and destroyed over the years that it got its own video. And that was just about the naming scheme. And the class allocation, I guess. Yes, the Honda Supra. That's what the Dinka Jester Classic is. Nice jump. Yeah, it's really tight in this top 5. This is fun. Yeah, the Jester Classic drives so much better without the... It's mainly the engine flag on this one, I think. It's not as bad with the suspension. Because it's quite nice to drive on smooth roads as well, actually, I think. Click. Honda Supra, Moggy has just put in the chat in game. I should probably explain. For those who are wondering what I'm talking about. The Jester Classic is based on a Toyota Supra. But the car maker in GTA is Dinka, which is Honda. The Honda equivalent. The regular Jester, not the classic version, is a Honda NSX, but the Jester Classic is a Toyota Supra. Not the classic NSX, as it should have been. I mean, I've ranted about this so many times over the years, I'm surprised that was even a question. I've gotten over that though. Like, naming schemes don't have to match real life, it doesn't really matter. It's the class misallocation that's the weird thing with the Jester Classic. Doesn't know whether it's a sports car or a sports classic. Alright, Devest 8. Let's get back up in a second, maybe. Damn, the top 5 are within the same straight. That's mad. Can I get back in first in the... Oh no, Fagaloa and Neo's in the lead now. Yeah, the Fagaloa really is slow. The Vestade's a bit of a pig of a car to get turned in anyway, but the advanced handling flags don't help. Not my best lap though. Dominator GTX versus Arbiter GT. The Dominator GTX was such a shame as well. It is just a sports car really in muscle. It comes into its own when it rains in muscle car races because it's got such good grip. But the advanced handling flags make it horrific. Going to get back into the lead. I am quicker than an Arbiter GT. I've still got the Vamos to go though. It's just got no top end, the Dominator GT. Bollocks. Vamos does though, certainly quicker than a Fagaloa. That's the bogey vehicle in this race, the Fagaloa. It seems. I actually got mine out of the way early on. Alright, it's going to come down to these last 2 laps, what people get. This top 5 is crazy close. This is the beauty of a random select, how it all closes in at the end. Everybody comes together as the people who get the fast cars at the start get the slow cars and vice versa. Yeah, the Vamos is just the most horrible driving car in the game. It really is. But a lot of that is because of the toll values in addition to the advanced flags. It's not just the advanced flags. The stupid toll values making it bump steer on any little bump or curb or pothole make it horrific. Top 5 all within the same straight. Nebula Turbo. 2 laps to go. Okay, the Nebula Turbo is slow. It's not Fagaloa slow, but it is slow. I'm getting caught hand over fist by that Entity XXR. I don't know what's left. I don't know what I've got left to go. What's going to be my last lap? This has been fun, driving all these advanced handling flag cars without them. It is such a nice driving experience. It's kind of been a race of what we could have had. Please need a Fagaloa for the last lap. Lemonade. Cheburek. Ooh. What have I got? The Tulip versus a Zion Classic. Oh, it's a bunch of slow cars. We're actually in a fight here. Tulip versus Zion Classic. Don't think I'm going to have the grip for it though. No, the Zion Classic's quicker. Are we going to catch the Cheburek? Toros behind. I'd be a lot closer if I hadn't have had that crash on the first corner. Yeah, the Tulip can't do it. The Cheburek might hold out here. What an exciting finish. I love random selects. I think the Cheburek's gonna hold out. We all got slow cars at the end. Nobody, someone needed to get like still have an entity left or something. Damn, that was close. What a fun race. That crash on the first corner cost me. It might have cost me the win. I'd need to look at how much time loss I had from crashing to getting back up to speed again. But it certainly cost me second. But even with that, LBS, I had a silly Apex prop crash, would have won without that. Okay, so we're all saying the same thing. Lemonade probably had a crash as well. 3 laps to go, top 10 was 20 seconds apart. That's crazy. And at the line, the top 5 were 10 seconds apart. Even at the line, the top 8 were only 15 seconds apart. Oh yeah, DiNmiTe in the Tyrant. I gained 4 to 5 places on the final lap. There you go. See, that's what... Nobody in the top 5 already had that fast car still to go on the last lap. DiNmiTe got into the top 5 from still having it. In fact, it was only... Oh no, that's from 6th to 7th. Close finish. Fun to see what could have been. Revisit these cars that we really should have had in a better condition than what we got them in for vanilla GTA.
He's a scumbag! He's an absolute scumbag!
DiNmiTe, with the 82 months finally employed again. Thank you again for hosting DiNmiTe. And Jacob Eriksson. That's who gave the idea. Now don't send me messages on Instagram because I won't read them. And if I do read them, it's going to be at least 5 years in the future. But there you go. That was who had the idea to do this. I got there in the end. Credit has been given.
Clown!
For DiNmiTe. Oh man, that sound is going to get a lot of use, isn't it? There you go. There's your final finishing results.